Hello everyone, this is ZeroRaptor coming at you with a follow-up on trying to build a Cybertron Tabletop RPG. I finally got around to painting my figures. I got this fantastic organizer from Artbin. Artbin is the only company that I saw that made organizers big enough to contain the Transformers figures from WizKids. Also, I found this really neat uh, sticker. This is not an official sticker, by the way. This is a fan-made sticker, and there's not a lot of people who do like the logo, like the whole like Transformers word logo. Like a lot of people do like the Autobot or Decepticon logos, but not a lot of people do the names. So this is a pretty cool find. So I was like, yeah, let's customize it up. So here we have all the Autobots and Decepticons they released so far. Apparently, I found out Wave 2 is not done. Wave 2 is actually supposed to be a little about the same size as Wave 1. I mean, as I said before, Wave 1 was Optimus, Megatron, Starscream, and Moby. So that was Wave 1. Wave 2 was supposed to be Soundwave, RC, Ironhide, and then the Minicons, Laserbeak, and Rumble. So of Wave 2, they've only released Soundwave and RC. They did not release Ironhide and Minicons yet. I've tried contacting WizKids to see like, hey, are these still in production? When are you guys planning to release the second part of Wave 2? And none of the customer service reps that I got in contact with was able to give me an answer. So I'm a little concerned that my hobby might be ending before it even started. I mean, we have the whole supply chain issue going on now, so that might be a factor. But I mean, they've released RC and Soundwave, so why can't you guys get working on like Ironhide and the Minicons? So Ironhide is coming. We just don't know when. So for now, I'm just gonna show what I've done so far. I haven't glued any of these figures onto the base because I kind of like it when they're like freestanding. Obviously, there's figures like RC, like she's not gonna be, she's not easily able to freestand because like she has such a small foundation, so she's gonna topple over. Whereas, yeah, Optimus, you don't topple over as much. So here's RC. I went and did, so I got Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. So I got two figures out of this one figure. And then RC's here. Let me see if I can get her to stand up. Okay, I got hers. So these are the Autobots thus far. I would like to have Ironhide as part of the lineup, but alas, it is not coming anytime soon. So for all the figures, I used Tamiya. So Tamiya Paints, they're a special kind of model kit paint that it has its own finish. Because usually when you have model kit paints, you have the paint itself, like the different colors, and then you have a finishing coat to make sure like when you're handling it, you're not rubbing the paint off or anything. But Tamiya, the way they manufacture their paints, it comes with its own finish. So all they have to do is just paint them, and it's like it's already got like a protective layer on it. So I'm like handling these all over the place, and it's like I'm not leaving fingerprints, I'm not rubbing the paint off in any way. And yeah, it's pretty well. So for all the dark pieces or dark parts, I used gunmetal. It's kind of hard to tell. See if I can get a closer camera. Yeah, so he's got like this gunmetal coating to him, and then Optimus, like I got all the white pieces like chromed out, so to speak. So he's got a bit of a chrome, and then his gun obviously is like a gunmetal, so it's got like a unique kind of like metallic sheen. I don't know if it's focusing on. Let me see. Yeah. So anytime they have white parts to them, I use like a silver paint. I mean, RC, she's got like best look to it. Let's see if we can focus. Focus. Come on. Come on here. All right. Well, I mean, yeah. So she's got the gunmetal on her hips and her gun. And everywhere else she's got chrome, and then it's like the pink. And then of course we got Megatron. I actually got this really neat effect on him. I used the thinner to like really dilute blue. So I don't know if you can see this, but I made it so it looks like there's like glass there. I know this is supposed to be his gun cannon, but I mean when he transforms, like this is like a gun scope. So I wanted to make it like a gun scope kind of effect on it. See, the gunmetal really like shows through on Megatron. Yeah, like, he's got the best of the silver and the gunmetal paint on him. And of course I got Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. Come on, Skywarp. There we go. I know what you guys are all thinking. Like, wait, what about the Rainstorm Triplets? I am not doing the Rainstorm Triplets because that is the laziest recolor of Starscream I have ever seen. Because at least Thundercracker and Skywarp, they put a bit more effort trying to individualize their color schemes. But the Rainmaker Triplet, like they just took a highlighter to them. It's like highlighter green, yellow, and orange. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's like the late. It looks bad. First of all, it doesn't even look anywhere near as cool, and it's just lazy. I don't want to bother painting that. That looks awful. And then of course I know you guys are talking about the cone heads. I don't know when that's coming because again, if they ever release the Ramjet, I'm totally gonna get 3 of him so I can do Thrust and Dirge along with it. But the Rainmakers and all the other Starscream clones, I'm not doing those. That's dumb. I mean, how many people even like those? Like they appeared for like 1 or 2 episodes and then they're gone from the series. So because at least Thundercracker and Skywarp, they make regular appearances in the cartoon. So I'm only gonna do those 2. And last but not least, we have Soundwave. Soundwave he's been very difficult for me to paint because he has like so many details because, you know, he's a Walkman. But Skywarp, I think he has the best example of me trying to do like the transparent blue. And you can see that. Try to like get him focus. Focus. Come on, camera. You can do it. Yeah, it's not focusing. So I managed to make it so it looks like there's a cavity in his chest, which is cool because that means that's where all the mini-cons come from, with like Laserbeak, Ravage, Rumble, Frenzy, and yeah. I don't know if I want to do Buzzsaw, because Buzzsaw, he didn't really appear in the cartoon all that much. He's basically a recolor of Laserbeak anyways. I mean, I do have to buy 2 of the mini-cons, because then I need to be able to make Rumble and Frenzy, so I guess I'll probably end up making Buzzsaw anyways, just because I don't want to like leave one of them unpainted. So yeah, that's all of them. And scale-wise, they're consistent, but I'm not sure what kind of scale they're following. Come on, Skywarp. Work with me here. Nah, just yeah, you're drunk. Anyways, I'm not sure what scale they're going for. I mean, Optimus and Megatron, they're clearly the biggest, like, mass-wise of the bunch. RC, kind of hard to tell, because I don't think RC really showed up in the cartoon alongside Optimus, because she was part of Season 2, when Optimus is gone. I'm not going to spoil it, but I mean, it's been 30 years since the cartoon came out. If you haven't seen the cartoon by now, I'm not going to... What else do you want me to do? I think RC was taller than the movie. Again, they didn't show up together in the cartoon either. Like, RC was usually with, like, Ultra Magnus, Rodimus Prime, which is a crap character. I hate Rodimus Prime. And Springer. And I think Ultra Magnus definitely was as tall as Optimus. So I think... Oh no. His antenna thing bent. How'd that happen? Well, good thing this is resin, Because if it was plastic, it probably have snapped off. There. Didn't notice that. Had a rabbit ear thing going on. So yeah, it looks like it makes sense. I don't think RC was as tall as Bumblebee though. And Bumblebee definitely should be like much shorter. Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, they were much shorter guys. Cause I remember Bumblebee, I think he was like half the size of Optimus. So he should be like at crotch height to Optimus, and yet he's almost like chest height. I think he is chest height, which isn't accurate to the cartoon, but these are the cartoon's designs. Because yeah, even in terms of scale, like Bumblebee here, he's actually a pretty big for a Volkswagen Beetle compared to Optimus, who's supposed to be a freaking truck, like a Peterbilt truck. So Bumblebee should be way smaller. He should be way smaller. Because compared to RC, like he's too big for how he's traditionally portrayed in the cartoon. So yeah, I think all of them, they're pretty much consistent in scale to the cartoon, except for Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. I think they're a little too tall. But in terms of the figures themselves, they're pretty good. I mean, I would Starscream, like his little gun keeps drooping because the way they're packaged is like they're being exposed to different temperatures, so of course there's going to be some warping with the figures. But overall, like these resin figures, they're pretty good. You got a lot of detail on them, so when you're painting, it really brings out the little details, the little lines, the little bevels and edges and stuff. So they're good quality figures. I'm just, in terms of the scale, for it to work with my Cybertron Tabletop RPG, I mean, the only outlier here are Cliffjumper and Bumblebee. Everyone else looks like they're at the height they should be. I can't wait till Ironhide comes out and the Minicons, because that's like, what? I'm going to get 2 of the Minicon packs, so that's 5 more figures that I would add to my collection. So out of the the 1.5 waves that they released so far, I got 9 figures out of it. So if they can release the rest of wave 2, that would give me like 5 more figures. So that's 9, 10, 14 figures. Yeah, this should be enough. Because ideally you want to like store them upright. You don't want, I mean, you can store them lying down too, but then again, you run the risk of like having certain features bent. Like Optimus, like I have him stored standing up, so I don't know why his antenna thing started like drooping like a rabbit. Like his smokestacks are fine. Yeah, I think it's just because they're such small pieces, it's easier to bend. I don't know. You know, I have them lie down. Yeah, so Art Bin, they're the only organizers that can fit these. Every other organizer I've found, they're just too small. Because these are hefty figures. These are like giant tiered figures in terms of tabletop RPGs. So you want something that's substantial. So if you're planning to get these figures, you're gonna want a pretty big organizer. These guys are not gonna fit into anything small. So yeah, that's my Transformers figures so far. I have not started painting the actual sets because I'm still trying to decide what kind of color scheme I want to go for, because I've got these guys on like the cartoon color schemes. So logically, I wanted to follow the Transformers Devastation color scheme with like the Proud Star, and I think Proud Star in the one room of Cybertron I was able to go to. But then I feel like that's not going to work if I paint all my sets like that. I kind of want to do like the Ark, but that's going to require more of those tiles, because for me to build the Ark, I'm like, first of all, the rooms are going to have to be big because these are big guys, and I'm gonna have to get like more engine room parts or engine room rooms and more walls and floors just to get the individual like areas. Like, I mean, it's the Ark, so you should have like sleeping quarters. I mean, they can sleep. Robots can sleep too. And you got like storage, engine room, of course. You got the bridge where they pilot the whole ship. So I would say using the lasers, Dungeons and Lasers tiles, Arc would have to be at least this big, and I don't think I have the space for it. And also, I mean, it'll be pretty easy to paint. It's just like brass and golds and metal, but that's a lot of paint, and I don't think I have a lot of Tamiya paint to paint all that. And I also want to do like different areas too. Like I want to do Iacon, Kaon, Polyhex, Uriah, Kalis, all the different city-states, provinces of Cybertron itself. I know that's not going to be enough, but I want to do my own like settings and color schemes for each of them. So yeah, this is not going to be a quick project. This is a very long-term project, but it's something that I'm willing to get into if I ever finish it in the future. I mean, that's an end goal for the hobby, and like a cool hobby is something that never ends, you know? So yeah, that'll be all for now. I'll probably do another follow-up video if they release Ironhide and the mini-cons, just so I can like review how they look fresh out of the package, and then another video of when they're actually painted. Maybe I'll just combine the videos, who else? So that'll be all for my Transformers Tabletop RPG. Until next time, this is ZeroRaptor signing off. Laters.